Okay, just waiting to make sure Facebook notifications have gone through and everyone gets a chance to log in. Hi Kale, how are you? Took me a few moments to log in. I actually tried twice and then I had to change something in the settings. So I deleted the live and have started again, take 3. But here I am, and let's just wait for a few more moments before we kickstart today's episode, which is the last one for 2020, and it is the last one for season 6. I can't believe I've done 6 seasons of this Facebook live show already, which is pretty exciting. Jyoti knows the drill. You've told me where you're logging in from, which is fabulous. So Jyoti says, hello, good morning from India, Mumbai. Yay! I'm originally a Mumbai girl as well, so it's always nice to connect. All right, so a few people are logging in now, so I'm going to dive right in. Hi everyone, welcome to Sunday Chats with Nim. My name is Nim Kholkar. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an author, motivational speaker, and entrepreneur based in Sydney, Australia. And Sunday Chats with Nim is a show that's very dear to my heart. I have been doing this since 2018 and I've done 6 seasons of this show already. So each Sunday at 4 o'clock Sydney time, I bring you topics that help you get ahead either in your personal or your professional life. And I've been doing this for the last 2 years. And today's episode brings us to the close of season 6. It's the last one for 2020 and the show will resume in 2021. I haven't fixed a date yet because I will be traveling a bit, but I will keep you all posted. So you all know the drill. As you log in, you know I love to hear from you. I love you saying hi and hello to me and letting me know where you're logging in from, because that's something that's always of great interest to me. So do say hi, and if possible, tell me which part of the world you're tuning in from. Hi Shrikant. Shrikant is from Sydney. Fabulous. I'm from Sydney too. That's great. All right, so today we're going to talk about a topic that I thought was pretty apt considering 2020 is drawing to a close and it hasn't been a great year for most of us. I'm sure most of you would agree that if we could, we would happily wipe off 2020. But 2021 is right around the corner and it's a great time for us to be looking inwards, reflecting, trying to figure out what we've done wrong so far in our personal and professional journeys and what we can set right in the new year. I do know that many people are reflecting and wondering how they're going to spend the next innings of their lives, how they're going to add more value, meaning, and a sense of purpose to their daily existence. Which is why I thought that the last episode for 2020, let's talk about how to create a bucket list. And there's Angie Kurana. Hi Angie, how are you? Welcome to Sunday Chats. All right, so as we're waiting for some more people to join in, because I do know that a few people had told me they're looking forward to this particular topic, I actually wrote down some very interesting quotes that I came across online, which were very powerful, which were very insightful, and very much related to the topic we're going to chat about today. So one very profound quote is by the author Paulo Coelho, who said, "One day you will wake up and there won't be any more time to do the things you've always wanted to do. So do it now." I thought this was an amazing quote and very, very apt and very related to what we're going to discuss a little later in the show. The second quote that I found really interesting is, "The goal is to die with memories, not dreams." I'm going to quickly explain this in case you haven't understood what this quote is actually talking about. I find that a lot of people have a lot of dreams, but dreams become goals only when you act on them. Dreams become memories only when you act on them, right? Which is why this quote is saying the goal is, when our time on earth is up, the goal is that we should die having created memories, not simply having had dreams that we did nothing about. Okay, the third quote is, though no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. I thought this was an amazing quote. It's a quote that I have read quite often every time I'm surfing online for some interesting quotes. So I'm going to read it again. Though no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. So please don't tell me that it's too late and that you're too old and that the horse is bolted and that you can do nothing about all your dreams, hopes, and passions, because that is not true. You can, and the whole purpose of today is to get you started, to get you really excited about the new year, and to kick some goals that you've been postponing for who knows how long. And the last quote before I talk about today's topic is by one of my favorite authors, Stephen King, who said, "You can, you should, and if you're brave enough to start, you will." So basically what he's saying is a lot of people have dreams and aspirations, but they are fearful of taking the very first step. They're terrified of even starting because they think of all the things that could possibly go wrong, and they freeze in their tracks and get nothing done. So basically this quote by Stephen King says that you can, which means you can achieve the things you want to achieve. You should achieve the things you want to achieve. And guess what? If you're brave enough to start, if you're brave enough to take that first step and not worry too much about failure, you will. And I thought that was amazingly profound. All right. Let me quickly read a couple of comments. Hi, Saurav. How are you? Saurav says, I've received your book, Success Cafe. Oh, yay. I'm glad you did. It's handy and a lot of small things to implement in daily life. Thanks for putting this together. That is music to my ears, Saurav. Thank you so much for the very kind feedback. And Jyoti says that's an amazing quote. Yeah, I find they're all amazing quotes, Jyoti. Very, very insightful. As you all know, I'm someone who loves quotes, right? All right, so let's get started with today's topic, which is how to create a bucket list. Now, before I start, let me throw this question out to all you wonderful people. What is a bucket list? Let's see what you understand by the term bucket list. I'll just wait while you, hopefully, some of you, type your responses. What do you think is a bucket list? Because there's no point us talking for the next 15-20 minutes if you're not sure what a bucket list refers to. So if you can quickly jot down your responses, then I will add my insights as well. What do you think is a bucket list? It's a strange term, isn't it? But it's a powerful concept. Hopefully some of you are writing something. What is a bucket list? Angie says it's a wish list. Very good. Yes, I would agree. Does anyone else want to tell me what they think is a bucket list? Hi, Brian. Brian says that which you hope to do that you haven't done as yet. Absolutely right. And Kay says something you want to accomplish during this lifetime. Very true. All right. So you all seem to have a rough idea what a bucket list is. Shrikant says a list of to-dos to document the goals, etc. Yes, absolutely right as well. So my understanding of what a bucket list is pretty much similar to what all of you have just said. It is basically all the milestones, accomplishments, experiences, skills that someone would like to collect during this lifetime before they actually kick the bucket. Kicking the bucket, as you all know, is before you die. So that's, I'm assuming, how the term bucket list came about. All the experiences, skills, what else did I say? Milestones that someone would like, all of us would like to achieve during our time on this fabulous planet. Okay, so that is what a bucket list is. Now, what is the importance of creating a bucket list? Now, there might be some skeptics who say, what's the point of a bucket list? It really does not have any meaning or importance. And look, fair enough if that's what you believe, but I want to share with you how I see a bucket list and why I think it is an incredibly powerful tool for us to be able to achieve the goals we want to achieve and make our lives a little bit more meaningful day by day. So let's talk a little bit about the importance of creating a bucket list. First of all, when you sit down and you put aside time to write down your bucket list, what it helps you do is it helps you shortlist all the things that have the potential to add meaning and purpose to your life. That's the first benefit. The second one is that when you are busy in the pursuit of goals that are on your bucket list, it gives you a reason to jump out of bed in the morning, your pulse racing, your heart singing, right? A lot of people have to be dragged out of bed because they don't want to face the day, or they don't want the day to begin, and they're wondering why the sun even rose, because that means they would have to get up and get started. But when you know that there's a bucket list that's waiting for you, it gives you a very positive, uplifting reason to jump out of bed each morning and get started with the day. Okay, so that's another benefit. The third benefit of actually knowing that there are so many things you want to achieve in life, having a bucket list, it actually helps you put up healthy boundaries, and it gives you the ability to say no to all the petty distractions that surround you all day. It gives you the courage to say no to people who are distracting you, people who are holding you back. A lot of people are scared of saying no to others. A lot of people are scared of putting up boundaries. But I find that ever since I created my wish list, as Angie said earlier, my bucket list, and now that I'm aware of the things that I want to achieve during this lifetime, and they're all meaningful goals, they're all goals that help me feel fulfilled. Once I know that, it helps me stay focused. It helps me say no to requests from friends or acquaintances or colleagues that are unreasonable. So it's very, very important to put up healthy boundaries. Okay. The other thing is, when you are busy ticking off all the things that are on your to-do list, it actually helps you with regret minimization. So hopefully you've all heard of this term, regret minimization, which means when your time on earth is up and it's time to go, you have minimum regrets because you have spent your entire life in the pursuit of things, experiences, milestones, and achievements that have meaning, purpose, and value. Okay, so when you're busy doing the things you know truly matter to you, guess what? At the end of the journey, you will have minimum regrets. A lot of people ask me, Nim, is it possible to die with zero regrets? Personally, I don't think that's very realistic. I believe that all of us will have some regret or the other, some nagging regret, where we wish we could have done something. But at least you won't have any major regrets if you are consistently working on your bucket list. All right. And the last benefit that I want to share with you is that it gives you a kind of roadmap. It gives you a sense of direction. Otherwise, it's very easy for people to simply drift from dawn to dusk every single day and not get much done at all. I personally know a lot of people who seem to be just drifting through life, just existing and not really living. That's because they take the day as it comes. There is no plan, there is no structure, there is no focus. But when you have goals that you understand are important and you're working towards them and you're taking action steps, then it is so much easier for you to develop a sense of clarity and a sense of direction. Okay? Harita has joined in. Hi Harita, how are you? Welcome to the show. So for those of you who are just logging in, today is the last episode of Sunday Chats with Nim for 2020. It is the end of season 6 and I will resume the show sometime in January 2021. I haven't decided the date, but I will let you all know soon. So the last segment of today's show is how do you actually create this amazing bucket list that is going to transform your life. Now, in case you're wondering, I'm someone who does create a bucket list. I'm someone who works very hard on my bucket list, and I'm someone who's not afraid of failure. I have failed many, many times, more times than I care to count. But guess what? Once I've finished crying and once I've finished venting, and yes, I do all of that in abundance. Once I've finished doing all that, I make sure I learn the lesson that mistake or that failure is trying to teach me. Because embedded inside every failure, embedded inside every mistake is a very priceless lesson. And a lot of people are so busy crying and so busy venting and so busy nursing a broken heart that they forget to actually learn the lesson. There's no point repeating the same mistakes again and again and again. So it's important for us to not give failure too much importance and to actually embrace it and to recognize that failure is actually the stepping stone to success. So don't be afraid of failure, and trust me, if you learn to embrace failure, you'll be amazed at how much you will achieve. Alrighty, so let's get started with how do you actually create this bucket list. All right. Now, hold on. Before I do that, I want to share with you a very insightful piece of information that I happened to stumble across online one day when this was a while ago when I was surfing through the net and I was sort of typing, looking for human lifespan and exercises related to that. I came across an interesting article which said, let's say for argument's sake, the average human lifespan is 78 years. Just for argument's sake, I hope you live longer. But let's say your total days on earth. If it's 78 years, your total days on earth are 28,470. 1/3 of our life is spent asleep, which means typically we sleep 9,490 days during an entire lifespan. If you're like me, you probably sleep a lot less, but let's just say for argument's sake, on average, we are sleeping 9,490 days. Now that means our total number of days on earth to do any kind of meaningful work is 18,980 days. I can sense that some of you are getting really excited and think, oh, that's a lot of time. 18,980 days is a lot of time. I can certainly get everything accomplished that I've been postponing. I'm going to burst your bubble. Sorry. But that is calculated from birth to death. Okay, so the bubble has obviously been burst, which means that let's say approximately if you're 40 years of age, then the number of days left to do anything meaningful with your life is only 9,246 days. Now, after hearing this, you are either still hopeful and thinking, okay, that's not too bad. I can still achieve all the things I want to achieve in 9,000 days. Or else you are feeling down in the dumps and thinking, oh no, I've wasted so much of my life. Either way, I want to let you know that there is hope. 9,000 days is still plenty of time if you're approximately 40. If you're older, which I am, then even a lot less. And if you're younger, then yeah, let's say if you're 35, there's 10,463 days approximately left if we consider average human lifespan to be 78 years. The reason I'm sharing this exercise with you all is because a lot of people tell me they want to do wonderful things in their life, but they're waiting to retire before they do all that. Or else they say, oh, I'll wait till the kids are grown up or till the mortgage has been paid. And I get a little impatient when people keep postponing their dreams and goals, because I say to them, it's all well and good that you want to leave things for some vague day in the future. But A, how do you know you're going to be still around? B, if you are around, how do you know you will have the physical, emotional, spiritual capacity to do the things you want to do? Right? A lot of people leave things for this vague day in the future when they retire, and then they wake up one morning to realize that they no longer have the interest, they no longer have the desire, they don't anymore have the courage, the strength, the capacity to do those things. So my friends, please stop postponing life. Please stop putting things off for some vague day in the future. Get started today, even if it is small, minuscule, tiny action steps. I can't stress enough the importance of tiny action steps. I'm someone personally who has achieved things just putting a 10-minute timer, and I've done episodes on that in the past, so you can always go to my YouTube channel and look for those. But I'm a huge believer in tiny action steps. All right, so what I would like you all to do is ask yourself this question. What are some of the things that you've always wanted to learn or to experience or to do, but you've been putting them off either because you thought it wasn't the right time yet, or you thought you'd do it when the kids were grown up, or you thought you'd do it when you had a more flexible job, or whatever other excuse, and I'm sure it's a very clever excuse, you've been giving yourself. First, ask yourself, what are some of those things you've been putting off because of some excuse or the other, and write them down on an A4 sheet of paper. The second thing I would like you to ask yourself is, what are some of the things you enjoyed doing when you were a child, or when you were a teenager, or when you were at college or university? But then life happened, you grew up, all the responsibilities came chugging along, and these things that you enjoyed when you were a child, you put them off on the back burner, and eventually you allowed yourself to completely forget about those things that you used to enjoy once upon a time. Please make a list of all those things, okay? And the third thing you should ask yourself is, if there was nothing that you were afraid of, basically fear is an unknown thing, you've never heard of the word fear. So if there was nothing to be afraid of, and there was nothing holding you back, and there were no excuses, what are some of the things you would like to achieve? And then write down all those things. Basically what this is it's one big brain dump, an info dump. You've just written down all kinds of weird and wonderful things you would like to do during your time on this planet. Now it's time to sort through this list, because obviously it is a bit unrealistic to think that all the 50,000 things that you've written down you will be able to achieve in this very finite life. Unfortunately, much as I'd love to say that you can, I doubt that you can do every single thing that's part of that info dump, right? So let's get a little realistic here so that we don't make ourselves ever so miserable. Not everything needs to go into your bucket list, okay? So let me reassure you that before you start getting anxiety about all the stuff you've written down on your A4 sheet of paper, and possibly you've needed a few more sheets of paper to fit it all in. Okay, so the first step is I would like you, out of that info dump, to shortlist 10 to 15 really small, tiny, achievable goals. 10 to 15 to achieve in the rest of your life. Things like, oh, I'd love to go go-karting someday, or I'd like to do bungee jumping someday, or I'd like to maybe connect with certain long-lost friends from my childhood whom I haven't spoken to or seen in the last 30 odd years. That kind of stuff, okay? So you need at least 10 to 15 really small, achievable things that put a song in your heart, that give you a sense of meaning, that make you happy, but they're not too difficult to achieve. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, I would like you to shortlist 3 to 5 medium-sized goals. For example, learning a foreign language, redesigning your home, creating a scrapbook of all the holidays you took with your family over the last several years. These are medium-sized goals because they require a little bit of work compared to the really achievable tiny goals we talked about in step 1. But at the same time, they're not completely out of reach. Okay? And the last thing, and this is my absolute favorite, is the penultimate achievement. So I would like you to just write down maybe just 1 or 2 super big, lofty goals. Goals which, if you were to achieve, would be for you the penultimate achievement. Achieving that dream would mean your life was fulfilled. In this category come things like booking a world cruise, like round the world cruise, or starting your own business, or writing a book. Something big, okay, that you feel will be your legacy when you finally go. It will be your contribution to the universe. Maybe it is, working for some cause that you are passionate about. Maybe working for to help eradicate poverty, or working to help victims of abuse, or whatever it is your contribution to universe, and you would like to leave behind a sizable legacy. And I don't mean that financially, I mean that more by giving your time, by giving your service, right? So that is how you will leave behind a legacy. And you can't have half a dozen super lofty goals, because that's going to keep you frustrated and miserable, because it will be ever so difficult to achieve that, right? So 1 or 2 super lofty goals. Write those down. And that, my friends, is your fabulous bucket list. Now, I will just have to do another episode to give you tips on how to start actually achieving those goals. But for today, the whole idea was to help you design a bucket list so that you can kickstart 2021 with the right foot forward. Everybody is so quiet. What happened? No questions, no highs, no insight, no comments. What happened? Where's everyone doing? Hopefully you've all enjoyed today's session. Is there anything you want to ask before I sign off? Like I said, I will resume the show in 2021. So I hope that if there's any question you wanted to ask me about bucket list, or any of the stuff that I've covered today, please ask me while the live session is on. It's not possible for me to respond to questions once the session has ended. All right, so I'm just going to wait for a few more moments in case anyone wants to ask me anything. Now, before you think I'm not a goal setting kind of person, I don't really believe in bucket list, I suggest that you at least give it a try, no matter how skeptical you are about whether or not it'll work, because personally it is something that has helped me stay on track and stay focused. So I can only talk from my personal experience with creating a wish list or a bucket list, and I actually do something about that list. It's not just that I create it and then, on a beautiful sheet of paper and then do nothing about it. I actually take my action steps, which is why I think it is so powerful to create a bucket list. Shrikant says, thanks for reminding that life is now. That's right, Shrikant. It's all about creating memories, right? It's all good to have dreams, but we need to, when our time on earth is up, we need to have created memories, not just dreams, because dreams are not fulfilling. It's the memories. When we act on our dreams, that's when memories are born, and that adds a sense of meaning and purpose to our lives. And Shrikant, like you rightly said, life is now. We need to seize the present moment, because we will never get it again. And Kale says, very interesting topic, and jotting down notes to work on my bucket list. Thank you for sharing. You're very welcome, Kale. So important to actually recognize that time is finite. A lot of people are living as though they're going to live forever, and that is so not the case for anybody. So don't leave things for retirement. Don't leave things for when the mortgage will be paid off, and when the kids will be older, and when I'll be happier. We're never going to be super happy. We're never going to be super motivated. There's never going to be a perfect day to get started. So you might as well embrace the sense of imperfection and just get started. Like Nike says, just do it. And Harita says, hi Nim, can you please tell me tips on how to speak without fear? Oh, Harita, that is a fabulous topic, but it's a whole new session and a whole new workshop. The one quick tip I can share with you today is all accomplished speakers started out as fearful speakers, because you can't get good at something unless you're prepared to first be very, very bad at it. And the easiest way to overcome your fear of speaking in front of an audience, speaking in front of your crowd, is just to allow yourself to be really bad for a while. Speak as much as possible at work, when your manager says, who would like to chair the meeting, or who would like to talk, raise your hand. I always say commit to raising your hand first, and then you will figure out something to say. But if you wait for the perfect moment to speak up in meetings, you'll be waiting for a long time. So Harita, my very, very quick tip for you in this very brief session is have lots of practice. Speak up in the workplace. In meetings, don't be someone who just writes down the minutes. Be someone who has an opinion to offer. Okay. Now I've done other episodes of Sunday Chats where I've talked about how you can speak up in meetings and make yourself more visible in the workplace. But that would be my basic tip to you is don't be afraid of judgment. Don't be afraid of ridicule. Don't worry about people laughing at you. The best way, back in the old days when I was a very underconfident speaker, and trust me, I was very underconfident for a long time, I actually decided to simply bite the bullet, and every opportunity I had in the workplace, I would speak up. And I was pretty bad at it initially, but I made sure I asked for feedback and I learned and I evolved. So like I said, to be good at something, you first got to be prepared to be very bad at it. Okay? And Prahlad, hi Nim, good morning. Good morning. I'm assuming you're logging in from India because it's probably early afternoon there. Sydney, it is late afternoon. So, but good to have you on the show. And all right, so I'm going to sign off now and go and have my cup of coffee because I was meant to sip my coffee very daintily while doing the show, but I switched on the kettle and forgot to make my coffee. Typical me. All right, well, I hope you all have a fabulous 2021. I do hope that you create a bucket list. And if you do, please send me an email and let me know, hey, Nim, I watched your show and I actually put together a bucket list, because when I read that, that will make me very, very happy. And if you want to send me that email, please do that to info@nimsniche.com. Okay, so after listening to this session, if you feel a little bit inspired and you feel a little bit motivated, act on that sense of motivation, because trust me, motivation can fizzle away if you allow it to. So act on it while you are feeling motivated. Put together a list, and I have gone step by step through all the things you need to do to create this bucket list. Okay, and if you do it, please drop me a line. So that's it from me for today. Enjoy the festive season, enjoy the holidays. Oh, okay, hold on. There's a comment from Saurav. I'm just going to quickly read it. Thank you for sharing the importance of a bucket list. I founded a company in 2020. Looking forward to starting the operation in 2021. Wish you in advance a happy new year, and thank you for inspiring entrepreneurs in a foreign land. How very sweet. Thank you, Sarah. I'm so glad that you found value from the session, and good luck with your enterprise in the new year. I'm sure it will be a soaring success. So all the best. All right, everyone. Take care. Have a great festive season. Be safe. Be happy. Be inspired. And don't just dream. Act on the dreams as well. Okay? And then success will be yours. So that's it from me. Take care. Bye for now. Love you all.